In today's video, I'm going to be checking out 5 of the best cooking and baking courses on Skillshare. Let's get started. To take any of these courses, you can click on the link down below in the video description, and this will activate an exclusive 2-month free trial with Skillshare that you can cancel at any time. Let's get started.
Hi, my name's Ilana Karp and I'm the head chef at Plated. We're a cook-at-home dinner service that serves the whole country. My background is I studied cooking in France and then came back and worked in a million different food jobs, including catering, cooking classes, food education, nutrition programs, a kids cooking summer camp, and then I found Plated. And so here we develop 11 different recipes every week. We test them in this kitchen. When a home cook receives it, they can cook an amazing meal in not that much time when they get home from work. So we're here in the Plated test kitchen. Everything's ready to go. This class is about knife skills, and knife skills are super important for any cook, be it a beginner or an experienced cook. The better your knife skills are, the easier it is to get dinner on the table. Normally when you enter the kitchen to prepare a meal, it can feel like a really overwhelming task to cut all these different things. But if you know what you're doing, you can do it really quickly and efficiently, and it makes the whole process a lot more fun. So to cook any meal, you don't need the fanciest knife or a million different options. You just need one good chef's knife, and that will really do the trick for almost anything. We'll start the class with knife safety, learning how to protect your non-cutting hand and hold the knife properly. And we'll learn how to slice, julienne, dice, and mince. These are 4 basic cuts that will help you with pretty much any ingredient you need to cut. And the more you practice on all different kinds of ingredients, the better you're gonna get. The project for this class is that you're gonna cut along with me. So you're gonna use the same vegetables and cut them into the same shapes that we're doing today. Then take a photo of your work and upload it to the project gallery so that we can see your awesome accomplishment.
My name is Paul Liebrandt. I'm a chef. And today we are going to be doing a class on creativity and inspiration from the point of view of a visual painting and making that and transferring that into an actual dish based on what we see and how we translate that into what we eat. A few characteristics I would say that work with anything that we do creative when it comes to food part. For me, the emotion and the feeling and the story that we're telling is the most important part. So more like jazz in a way, it's a lot of spontaneity. I started in London, so I'm British, and I was brought up in London. And I worked in London at a lot of very good places. And then about 14 years ago, I decided to take a trip to New York. And I fell in love with New York, and I didn't leave. I've opened up several restaurants. Notable, Atlas was my first restaurant at 24. I had a restaurant called Corton for the past 6 years, which is a 2 Michelin-starred restaurant. This is another one that I've opened called The Elm, which is in Brooklyn. And today, we're going to be taking you on a journey with what we do here. So the class project today that we're going to be doing is we're going to be looking at fine art and taking inspiration from fine art and looking at the visual aspect of something that we can take, meld with the season that we're in right now, and be able to take raw ingredients, have the spontaneity and the conceptual idea of how to take those ingredients and transform them into something which is very representative and also the right sensibility of what we saw in the picture. Food is something which you use all your 6 senses in. So it's not so much a cooking demo, it's more of the journey from the visual aspect of looking at something and how do we get from that point A to point C with the final dish that you are going to eat and try. How do we get there? Craft, art, visual, and transforming that into what we have in here, into something that is tangible and delicious and beautiful on the plate.
I'm Zachary Pelaccio, and today I'm going to play with fire. Today we're cooking at my house, in my yard. We're going to cook with live fire. That is a wood-fired grill. We're going to learn to cook chicken and a variety of vegetables over a wood-fired grill. I love cooking with wood fire. My interest is to teach you how to get more from your grill. Whether you're using charcoal or whether you're adding wood to it, to actually learn how to listen to the fire, the nuances of cooking with fire, from starting it to maintaining it to actually cooking the protein and the vegetables. One of the most interesting things that we'll be cooking today is probably what many people consider one of the most pedestrian proteins, which is chicken. But what's interesting to me about chicken is that it is one of the harder, common proteins to cook. It's rare that you get a chicken that's cooked well, that is where the breast is moist and tender and the legs have a nice char on the skin, but they're not overcooked as well. So without further ado, let's light the fire.
Hi, I'm Julia Turshen. I'm a cookbook author. Welcome to my home. This is my kitchen. We're in upstate New York. I wrote a book called Small Victories, from a home cook for other home cooks, and I've put everything I know into it. The concept is that every recipe is introduced by a small victory, which is a tip or a technique that makes home cooking really approachable, really accessible. Yeast is no different. It's just a tool that helps you make a baked good rise. And so getting to understand it better and knowing how it works, it's opened up so many things in the kitchen for me. So today we're going to make a really basic yeasted dough that lets you make so many different things. And the great thing about that is you can customize it and turn the dough into anything you want. So to make them, we're going to first make the dough. So we're going to mix a little bit of warm milk and yeast with flour, a little bit of butter, because that makes everything better. And then we're going to let the dough rise, meaning we're going to let the yeast do its thing. And then we're going to come back to it. We're going to roll it out. We're going to fill it with raspberry jam, then roll up the dough, kind of like a yoga mat, slice it into little rolls. Those are going to rise one more time, then we're going to bake them. And in learning how to do all this, we're going to learn also how to make anything from little garlic knot rolls to monkey bread, or you can, instead of raspberry jam, you can use prosciutto and roll it up and bake it as a whole big loaf that has a spiral of prosciutto inside, which is amazing. Learning how to make this one thing opens up so many possibilities for so many other things. And I can't wait to see what you make.
Hi, my name is Nick Ander. I'm the chef partner of two Roman-style Italian restaurants here in New York City. One is Maialino on 21st and Lexington, and the other one is Marta, a Roman-style pizzeria on 29th between Park and Madison. I've been working with Danny Meyer for about 14 years now. I worked at Gramercy Tavern, also worked in the kitchen at Maialino, helped to open up Maialino. I also spent a lot of time in college studying art history in the city of Rome, so thus began my sort of love affair with that city and everything about the food there. Today we'll be focusing on pizza, and one particular kind of pizza, which is one of my favorites, which is a thin crust Roman style pizza. We're gonna go over the techniques that it takes to make pizza, which I think are pretty easy. Nothing is too complicated. Talking about mixing flour and water, when to do it, how to do it. And then we're going to be talking about making sauces and the ingredients that go into making good sauce. And then after we talk about sauce, we're going to talk about the other things that go on pizza, whether it's olive oils, cheeses, meats. And then we'll be talking about cooking, which I think really is the easiest part. You know, especially at home, you're going to drop that pizza in the oven and forget about it, and you'll see how we do that. It's very, very simple. So I'd say that this class is really for anybody that loves pizza. Whether you're a professional cook and you've been doing this for a long time, you just want to learn more, or if you're a home cook who's never made a pizza once in your life. If you like eating pizza, then you should know a little bit about making pizza, because I think that it's a fun process to go through. Anybody can learn this. I mean, I think that you can teach this to a 12-year-old kid. You can also teach it to a 35-year-old experienced cook. So if you like pizza, you're going to like this class.
Hey guys, I'm Kenny Monroe. I'm a chef at Bruno Pizza in the East Village in New York City, and a chef and farmer at Farm on Kent in Williamsburg, Brooklyn.
I'm Christian Perkins. I'm a butcher at Foster Sundry in Brooklyn, New York.
Today we're here to teach you about the basic building blocks of cooking.
So we believe that cooking is really just a collection of patterns. So our objective here is to teach you those patterns so that you can feel comfortable applying these to a whole different range of products.
We want to give you the tools, techniques, and skills necessary to be able to cook good, healthy, seasonal food without needing to follow exact recipes.
And cooking this way is affordable, healthy, and fulfilling.
And we're super excited to have you guys along for our class, so let's jump in.